Hi, I'm Eric Mano with Manaisms, helping people to balance self-improvement with contentment in order to lead more aware and fulfilling lives. Hopefully, making common sense more common. In this week's video, I will be going over what I learned from the over 2,021 push-ups I did on March 13th, which I covered in my first Manaisms video on the 17th, which was also my birthday. The other thing I wanted to do was clarify the invitation that I gave in the first video for the push-ups challenge next year, if I get the required number of views, likes, or subscriptions. All right, so the first thing I wanted to cover that I learned from the push-ups challenge was how many negative thoughts came into my mind as I was doing the challenge throughout the entire thing. So I wrote down a bunch of the thoughts. So the first half was definitely harder than the second half. But during the first half, here are a couple of my thoughts that I had. Let me know if you've had these thoughts into your mind as well during life. I'm in pain. I'll just do this another time. Just watch a movie. I love movies. Who am I doing this for? Why am I doing this to myself? Nobody cares. I'm not able to do it. If I don't, I'm a failure. Now my thoughts changed a little bit after the halfway mark, because getting over that hump was a success in and of itself. But as it was getting darker and I was getting tired, here are a couple of my other thoughts that I had. So I'm getting bored. Who's going to watch this? Is this good for me? And am I just being stubborn? So as you can see, there are a lot of not helpful thoughts, but I think a lot of people have these thoughts enter their mind where they're trying to do anything or even just daily activity. So what I learned was that, and this was very helpful for me being a yoga instructor and also having trained in yoga and then also have been reading up on ACT therapy, is that you can have those thoughts, but you can choose to observe them and then let them go. You don't have to hold on to them. You can choose what to do with them, which is amazingly empowering. So that was extremely helpful. It's basically just separating your observing mind from the mental chatter or that negative self-talk, or the ACT therapy calls it the dictator. Yoga calls it monkey mind. So it's yourself, it's you, and then you get to observe everything that comes in, everything that you, all the stuff that happens in your head automatically. And then you get to choose what you want to do with it. So that was the first thing I wanted to share, was that, and that also is the road to self-awareness. You have yourself, and then you have all that mental chatter that you can either choose to agree with or not. So that's that. The other thing that I learned was that I'm pretty imaginative. I chose to do a different style of push-up every set, unless it was right and left-sided, in which case one set I did the right side, and then I did the left side the next set. But I didn't come in with a plan, except that I had two little Post-it notes with 25-minute increment, or 25 sets with 5-minute increments written down the Post-it notes. And then I marked out every 5 minutes after I did it. That's all I had. So having my break time in between the sets to figure out what do I want to do next? That's going to be different. That was a fun challenge. I really like that part. Yeah, maybe feel creative. So I like that. I also learned through this very hard physical challenge was that I had to drop my ego and really listen to my body. So at around 700 reps, my left shoulder especially started to give out. It really cramped up. And then around 1,000, my triceps actually locked up a couple times where I had to massage them out a lot in between sets from then on out, basically. So I had to take a step back and I had to see, okay, how can I complete this challenge, but still listen to my body and still take care of my body. So I focused even more on form. I try to be a stickler with form, but you know, after so many reps, your body gets tired. So I switched to incline push-ups because I knew if I tried to do them the rest on the floor, I wouldn't be able to complete the challenge, or I'd hurt myself, or both. So I still did different variations, but I still kept good form with whatever I was doing. I did them with more body awareness. So that was a hard lesson to learn, but worth it. All right, now finally, what this taught me, what I learned from this was that I exercised my will and perseverance. I had thought about quitting throughout, but I think will and perseverance, if self-awareness is the first step, will and perseverance and execution and actually doing something is the end goal. So you have a thought, you can choose to use it or not, but if you set a goal, do you achieve it or do you make excuses? Do you let your mind tell you you're not good enough or tell you that you're not going to do it, or a myriad of excuses? But it's that marrying of that self-awareness with that drive, with that goal, with that purpose, but doing it in a smart way. So those were the lessons that I learned from this push-up challenge. Now I'd like to go into what I'd like to clarify the invitation that I gave in the previous video. So I said, you can join me with push-ups next year if I get a certain amount of likes or followers or subscriptions, which still holds true. But I want to clarify, you don't have to do as many push-ups as I did per set or through the entire thing. You can do a portion of it. You can do one push-up every 5 minutes. As long as it's, I would say, more than you've done before, so it's actually a challenge to you. And also you're doing it with good form and you're listening to your body and you're taking all these things that I told you that I learned and actually applying them as you're doing them. So that's what I wanted to get clear on. Like, you don't have to do, since next year is 2022, I'm doing at least 2022 push-ups. So or if you're in way better shape, you do double. Like, go ham, whatever you want to do. But listen to your body. Don't listen to the excuses that you have in your head, and follow through. And it's a challenge worth doing. Okay. And the last thing is, I said that I'm going to make a video every week, which I am. So a week is the end of Sunday, my time. So if you don't see a video before the end of Sunday, something might be actually wrong. Unless I tell you in a video prior that I'm not going to do a video that week or that following week. So just keep that in mind. New video every week before Sunday, the end of Sunday. And that was it. The other thing, next week I did mention that I did variations of push-ups. I've actually created a few different variations that I have not seen anywhere else. I've looked a little bit, I haven't looked like super hard, but I'd like to share those, at least one of those next week, and then I'll intersperse them, the different exercises, not just push-ups, throughout my videos. So again, this is Eric Mano with Manneisms, and I will see you next week. Bye.